The 90s was a big time for anime over here in the West. Whether it be thanks to blocks like Kids WB, Toonami, or even YTV, for us Canadians, we were seeing a lot more dubbed anime during this decade in comparison to the 80s or before that point. And a lot of them were really popular. Dragon Ball, Yu Yu Hakusho, Beyblade. Okay, but it wasn't a total sausage fest when it came to anime in the West. There was one other anime that I recall the most that was targeted for a female audience and was really popular. And if you were a male, you were mocked for watching it because, let's be honest, child bullying is a bitch. Anyways, the punchline is Sailor Moon, running from 1992 to 1997 under multiple different names and adapted from the manga of the same name. This magical girl series was so popular it spawned 3 movies throughout its 6-year life on TV. One of which we'll be looking at today. Sailor Moon S the Movie, which is an adaptation of The Lover of Princess Kaguya, a short story written by the author of Sailor Moon herself. And great job hiding the identity of Princess Kaguya, Toei. And I can see her on the poster and she looks like a humanized Luna. And you see, this obviously ruins the movie and is now worse than Batman v Superman bar none. Seriously, who did this? Was it this girl and her mysterious hand motions? Actually, no. This is the titular Princess Kaguya, who wants to freeze Earth because she wants to add it to her collection and is pissy because in the past, Princess Serenity and the Silver Crystal stopped her plans to freeze the Earth, and now she's back to try again. That is literally all she has going for her as a character, and frankly, I was more interested in the Sailor Senshi / new character Kakeru, as well as his issue / relationship with Luna and his girlfriend Himiko, than Kaguya as a character / villain. She barely has anything to make her an interesting or well-rounded character, let alone a memorable one. She just wants to freeze the planet and sends her minions to go and get part of her comet back so that she can try and make it happen. Legit, she's about as interesting / developed as the monster of the week villains of the show, and frankly, that's what she feels like. Instead of a villain or main antagonist, she feels like a minion herself to the more interesting big bad that we never see in this movie. But, hey, if you like monster of the week villains, here's another one. But hey, I'll give her this. She may be a flat and forgettable villain, but she'd make a damn good massage therapist. Speaking of therapists, what the hell is up with Luna having a thing for this new guy? Didn't she have a thing for Artemis or something? And where's Diane? Chibiusa's in the movie, but not her cat? Who gives? Well, folks, that's because there's a scene in the source material that wasn't adapted for the movie, or at least my copy of the movie. See, in the beginning of the short story, Usagi and the others are having a party to celebrate Makoto / Sailor Venus's birthday, or Jupiter's birthday. The scan I have lists both, despite their birthdays not matching, and Luna / Artemis show up late, with her being mad at Artemis over that. Which would explain why she's interested in Kakeru, but since it was cut, it just feels awkward. Maybe because it had underage drinking in it, but that could have been fixed by pulling out 4 kids and turning the drinks into apple juice or pop. Either way, this feels really unnecessary, especially for an adaptation that adapts pretty much everything else just fine, and it makes the ending bit where her and Artemis reconcile so subtle things feel odd. Since, well, what struggle was there? Especially for those who didn't read the manga / short story there to begin with. At least the chemistry between Usagi and Mamoru is handled really well, coming off as genuine and pleasant to see on screen. Hell, the team dynamic / bond is still as good as the show, so at least there's that going for the film. And if you like the fights in the show, you'll likely enjoy the ones in this film, as the formula of long transformation sequences, Usagi running like a coward or not fighting while the inner / outer senshi fight the monster before Usagi comes in and does the finishing move after Mamoru saves her is present in this one too. Kakeru is also a decent character in this. He has a likable personality and chemistry with his girlfriend and Luna. I liked his backstory. And while he does have his nasty moments, he also has some moments that made me feel for him as a character, like him going out to try and tell his girlfriend about Kaguya freezing the earth despite his nasty condition, him hugging his girlfriend at the airport after him realizing that he messed up, and deciding to live on for her sake was genuinely nice to see on screen, especially after all the crap he was put through and all the stuff he did to her. Is he an amazing character? No, but he does work for the purpose of the story, and while I would have liked to see him develop further or be a bit more fleshed out, and does a passable enough job for me. Hell, even the human form for Luna in this movie and the book would later be used in the manga along with human forms for Diana and Artemis, so it's glad to see a lovely design be used in the manga properly and not have it be non-canon material in a sense. Besides the show with Super S and stars, this series has had way weirder ideas for transformations and form. Hell, just look at the anime version of the Sailor Starlights, who have male human forms and also have the power to piss off the creator of the manga. Seriously, that is impressive. Alright, enough rambling. You may have noticed I didn't talk much about the story, and that's because there's not really a lot of substance here outside of the character moments that I really care about. Like I said, a lot of it feels like a Monster of the Week episode of the show stretched out into an hour. All it's missing is the main antagonist saying they'll get the sailors next time. Actually, I think that might be the best way to sum up this film. It feels like an episode. It even looks like an episode since it doesn't look like they did much with the increased budget to make the art style pretty on the eyes. It acts like an episode at points, and the villain feels more like a Monster of the Week villain rather than an antagonist with more depth to them in comparison. I know it's a movie and they don't have as much time as the show, but Kaguya still comes across as a flat / uninteresting villain, and that's a problem to me. But regardless, your enjoyment of this movie I think may boil down to if you like these kinds of episodes and not only Sentai, but also Sailor Moon itself. As for me, I'm in the middle on this one. While I do like some of the characters and some of the arcs and even the animation, while looking similar to the show with little differences is fine, I don't like the villain. Some bits of the movie are awkward to see, just odd to see change, like the aforementioned Luna not being interested in Artemis for some reason in this movie, despite a decent explanation for why in the source material, and it got kind of boring / forgettable as the film went on, save for the few moments I mentioned earlier. It's not the worst I've seen out of Magical Girl series, but it's not the best either. It's a 5 or 6 out of 10 for me. So yeah, that concludes this review. Obviously this ending bit is a little bit different from the original recording because this was recorded after the holidays and the original was before. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the review. Hope you had a great holiday season. And next time we meet is episode 100. See you next time.